who's most well known for his Christmas story, A Gift from the Magi, that, as many of you may recall, ends with a very ironic twist. And it's that ironic twist that is at the heart of almost all of O. Henry's writing, and one of the reasons I enjoy reading his short stories so much. Tonight's story is about three passengers being on a train. I present to you Hearts and Hands by O. Henry. At Denver, there was an influx of passengers into the coaches on the eastbound B&M Express. In one coach, there sat a very pretty young woman, dressed in the elegant taste and surrounded by all the luxurious comforts of an experienced traveler. Among the newcomers were two young men, one of handsome presence with a bold and frank countenance and manner, and the other a bit ruffled, glum-faced, heavily built, and rough-dressed. The two were handcuffed together. As they passed down the aisle of the coach, the only vacant seat offered was a reverse one, facing the attractive young woman. Here, the linked couple sat themselves. The young woman's glance fell upon them with a distant and swift disinterest. Then, a lovely smile brightened her countenance, and a tender pink tinged her rounded cheeks. She held out a little gray-gloved hand. When she spoke, her voice, full, sweet, and deliberate, proclaimed that its owner was accustomed to being heard and speaking. Well, Mr. Easton, if you will make me speak first, I suppose I must. Don't you ever recognize your old friends when you meet them in the West? The younger man roused himself sharply at the sound of her voice, seemed to struggle with a slight embarrassment, which he threw off instantly, and then clasped her fingers with his left hand. "It's Miss Fairchild," he said with a smile. "I'll ask you to excuse the other hand. It's otherwise engaged at present." He slightly raised his right hand, bound at the wrist by the shining bracelet, to the left one of his companion. The glad look in the girl's eyes slowly changed to bewildered horror. The glow faded from her cheeks. Her lips parted in a vague, relaxing distress. Easton, with a little laugh, as if amused, was about to speak again when the other one forestalled him. The glum-faced man had been watching the girl's countenance with veiled glances from his keen and shrewd eyes. "You'll excuse me for speaking, miss, but I see you're acquainted with the marshal here. If you'll ask him to speak a word for me when we get to the pen, he'll do it, and it'll make things easier for me. He's taking me to Leavenworth prison. 7 years for counterfeiting." "Oh," said the girl, with a deep breath and returning color. "So that's what you're doing here, a marshal." "My dear Miss Fairchild," said Easton, calmly, "I had to do something. Money has a way of taking wings unto itself, and you know it takes money to keep in step with our crowd in Washington. I saw this opening in the West, and well, a marshalship isn't quite as high as the position of an ambassador, but—" "The ambassador," the girl said warmly, "doesn't call anymore. He need never do so. You ought to know that. And so now you're one of these dashing Western fellows? You ride and you shoot and you go off on all sorts of dangers. That's different from Washington life. You have been missed with the old crowd." The girl's eyes, fascinated, went back, widening to those glittering handcuffs. "Oh, don't you worry about them, miss," said the other man. "The marshal handcuffs themselves to the prisoners to keep them from getting away. Mr. Easton here knows his business." "Will we see you again soon in Washington?" asked the girl. "Not soon, I think," said Easton. My butterfly days are over, I fear. I love the West, the girl irreverently said. Her eyes were shining softly. She looked way out the car window. She began to speak truly and simply, without the gloss of style and manner. Mom and I spent the summer in Denver. She went home a week ago because Father was slightly ill. I could live and be happy in the West. I think the air agrees with me here. Money isn't everything, but people always misunderstand things and remain stupid. Mr. Marshall, growled the calm-faced man, this isn't quite fair. I'm needing a drink and I haven't had a smoke all day. Haven't you talked long enough? Take me to the smoker now, won't you? I'm half dead for a pipe. The bound travelers rose to their feet, Easton with the same slow smile on his face. I can't deny a petition for tobacco, he said lightly. It's the one friend of the unfortunate. Goodbye, Miss Fairchild. Duty calls, you know. He held out his hand for a farewell. Oh, it's too bad you're not going east, she said, clothing herself with a manner and style. But you must go on to Leavenworth, I suppose. Yes, said Easton. I must go on to Leavenworth. The two men slid down the aisle and into the smoker. Two passengers sat nearby had heard most of this conversation. Said one to the other, that Marshall's a good sort of chap. Some of these Western fellows are all right. Pretty young to hold office like that, isn't he? Asked the other. Young? Exclaimed the first speaker. Oh, oh, why didn't you catch on? Say, did you ever know an officer to handcuff